Hey guys, today I am sharing with you my 10 favorite cold weather fragrances. These are the fragrances that I enjoy the most in the winter months. Where I live, the temperature gets below 0 some days and it stays around that for a long time, way too long. So these are all fragrances that like I said, I look forward to wearing and I appreciate the most in that cold weather. I'm going to start with the fragrance that I think is most unlike all of the other fragrances that I'm about to show you. I know that there are some climates where the weather doesn't really get all that cold or it doesn't stay cold for very long, and I didn't want to leave everybody out, even though my weather gets really cold. This fragrance, I think, works in most temperatures, and I think it's really nice in colder weather as well. So this is Valentino's Donna. I love Donna Aqua. This one took me a little while to grow to love. At first I thought I hated it, but it's really nice. It's got this sort of lipsticky iris vibe in the beginning, and then it warms up a little bit and it feels a lot more rosy and a lot more comforting, which is what I gravitate towards in the winter. This scent isn't super sweet, so if you prefer scents that are more floral and not quite as sickeningly sweet as I prefer, this is a really good option, and it doesn't really smell like overly vanilla or anything like that, and it isn't a really fresh flower. There's no green notes in here, so that's what makes me feel like it works better in colder months versus warmer months. If you do love super sweet scents, this one is probably the sweetest in all of the fragrances that I have to show you. This is La Petite Robe Noir Intense from Guerlain, and this fragrance is blueberries, cotton candy, patchouli. It is super sweet and it's a super beast mode fragrance. This fragrance, one spray is plenty, and I say that as a chronic oversprayer. This fragrance really blooms, which is one reason it's best in super cold temperatures, because heat makes fragrances reach a lot farther. And I feel like in any warmth, the sweetness is just too much. This smells so good. You have to like patchouli for sure, because this patchouli is for patchouli lovers only. If patchouli is a note that irritates you sometimes, I'm gonna guess you probably will not like this. This is, to me, kind of like a blueberry angel, like angel without the chocolate and with blueberries instead. It's really, there's like a little earthiness to it. It's not just like pink sugar cotton candy with blueberries. The patchouli definitely adds a little dirt to it. Looking at the scents that I've chosen, I would say that iris and vanilla are probably my two favorite notes for the winter. And iris is super prominent in Guerlain's Insolence. This is the Eau de Parfum. I also love the Eau de Toilette. And this bottle is no longer available from Geralyn, which disappoints me because I think the bottle is so cute. I am obsessed with this fragrance for winter. It's iris and violet and it's so sweet. This is a candy fragrance for sure. This fragrance to me smells like putting on a sweater or like a really soft scarf. It just like wraps around you, and it's cold smelling but very warming. That is so confusing. Why are you saying that? But that's what it feels like to me. It smells like a cold perfume that would really warm you up. And it's just so sweet, and I don't know if it like brings me back to being a kid or what, but I really love it. This one, I think, I say this one works best in cold weather because I feel like the same as with the La Petite Robe Noir Intense, the heat really just makes it so sweet and so big. This is another one that you can kind of go easy with spraying. But if you love the sweet, then this is for you for sure. One of my favorite scents for rainy weather is Alien Essence Absolute from Mugler. And I think it works really well in the cold weather as well when we're past rain and we're into snow, because this is just so cozy. It's a little boozy, it's very warm, a little sweet. Oh, and it's like a little sexy too. It isn't just like a warm sweater, it's like a tight sweater. This smells so nice to me. I think that I love this one for rain and snowy days when I plan on staying in the house and I just want to like lounge around doing nothing or just being very lazy that day. This smells like kind of a lazy day fragrance. I can see this being really great at holiday parties where there's a lot of socializing, like any Friendsgiving parties or office holiday parties. I think that would be really nice with this fragrance as well. This is very boozy, so maybe not the office. This one's really, they're all really good performers now that I'm saying that. I think there's one, maybe two in here that don't project a ton. This is one that projects a ton, so again, you can kind of go easy on the sprays. This next one is one that I think would work really well at the office. This is from Lancome. It is Olivia Belle L'Eau de Parfum Intense. This is not as close to the original Olivia Belle as the other flankers like L'Absolu and what's the other one? Like the Eau de Toilette and the Floral. Those are way closer to the original Olivia Belle. This to me is like whipped cream and hazelnuts. It has that warm iris, that sweet iris from the original Olivia Belle, but the hazelnuts make this a lot more gourmand and a little warmer and a little more savory. I absolutely adore this fragrance. Like hands down, I cannot not wear this throughout the colder weather. I think this projects reasonably well, which is why I think it would be good for the office because it wouldn't choke anyone out, but people will still be able to smell you. And this to me has the recognizability of Olivia Belle, but it's unique. So I think that the reason people really enjoy smelling this on others is because it kind of triggers this recognition, but it's not what they think it is. Do you know what I'm saying? I think this one's also another really nice cozy sweater perfume. This one to me is very maternal smelling. I'm not trying to say this smells old lady at all. Absolutely not. I just feel like when I'm wearing this, I feel like someone that people want to hug. And like, not in a sexual way, just it feels very comforting and maternal and nurturing to me. I really enjoy wearing this for that reason. A fragrance that will make people want to hug you for other reasons is Nero Assoluto from Roberto Cavalli. This fragrance is a warm vanilla with woods, and it's got something a little dark in it. Like it smells very date night. This one doesn't project a ton. It's a little closer to the skin, which I think makes it appropriate for date nights. I don't think that this screams date night, so you could absolutely wear this during the day and in cold weather. It just feels really warm. I think the woods give it a little more of a masculine edge. This fragrance to me is a good unisex perfume. I don't think this is like super feminine or super masculine, and it's not sweet. The vanilla leans more towards vanilla extract. Yeah, it's definitely got that sort of boozy tone to it. And then the woods. This is a really good one, I think, for, this makes me think of somebody who is like a boss. This is a very confident person and super in control. This next fragrance is my Christmas fragrance. It is Shalimar Souffle Intense from Geralyn. I tend to wear this fragrance only during the holidays just because when I smell it, that's what it makes me think of, and I'd like to keep that memory alive. I just adore this fragrance. It's like Shalimar without the smoke and leather. Like there's a little of that in here, like a little way in the back, but it's way more soft and grounded, and there's just this fluffy lemon vanilla. It's really thick. This is like a really thick fragrance. You have to kind of bite into it. This is another one that is like very maternal to me. Like it makes me think of people wanting, like I would want to hug someone that smelled like this. It's a little sexy, or in my experience, people have responded in that way to it. But to me, it's just, this is my association, but it's just like being surrounded by your family or friends or both, and spending time with those people and really focusing on them and not being distracted by anything and just sharing the love. I don't know, that's what this reminds me of. I think this is like such a great Christmas fragrance because this smells like what that feels like. It's warm, it's comforting, it's soft. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this. I love this fragrance. This fragrance might be one of my favorite chocolate fragrances. I've said before that I'm not a huge fan of chocolate in fragrances, but in Armani Code Satin, I love it. It is vanilla and praline, I think, and chocolate, and it is just sweet and delicious. This isn't sickeningly sweet. It also doesn't project like a ton unless you spray a lot like I do. It's got a little tart edge to it. It's not like fully sweet. I really like this for like daytime. I think it would work really well in the nighttime too, but it's not super, super dark in that way. And I think this could even work in the office or like a work setting. It just smells very approachable, and I wouldn't really call this a super unique fragrance. I think if you love fragrances like Flower Bomb and Olivia Belle, this is like a really easy pick for you because they don't smell the same, but they're reminiscent of each other and they've got sort of that same vibe going on. A lot of the cold weather fragrances that I tend towards are not daytime or like work friendly. I work a very untraditional job. Not traditional? Untraditional? I don't know. My job isn't what most people work. It's not a 9-to-5. I have a lot of freedom. And while I don't wear a ton of fragrance to work, I get a lot of chances during the day to wear fragrance for myself, and I'm not bothering anyone because I'm alone. And so I tried to think of fragrances that would work in those 9-to-5 job settings, just because a lot of people work them. And Guerlain seemed like such an easy choice for me. It is sweet and cozy. It's not offensive at all. I think that this fragrance smells clean without smelling like shampoo or body wash, and it's cozy to me. I mean, this to me smells like a winter fragrance. I like it in the summer months or like spring, summer, fall, but in the cold, cold weather, I think the aromatic part of the lavender comes out a lot more. And I don't know, it just smells really good to me. It smells very wintry to me. And for the office or any sort of work environment, I think it's perfect. I think a lot of people find that this works in those situations. And it just smells like easy. Like it's not trying too hard. It smells put together, and it smells very appropriate. As for it being a winter fragrance, like I said, I just find this really cozy and warm. It's a little sweet. It's on the sweeter side of a little sweet. I wouldn't call this sickeningly sweet, but that's just my gauge, and my gauge might be shifted a little bit towards the sweeter end of things. So if you don't like sweet, I wouldn't go for this. And again, this is sort of along the lines of like Olivia Belle and Flower Bomb in terms of perfume tastes. This next fragrance feels to me like it could be a really nice special event or signature scent. I chose Tom Ford's Noir Femme because it is warm and cozy and special. It is very creamy and milky and a little spicy, but the spices are very sweet spicy. This isn't like sharp cinnamon or anything like that. It's just a really round, soft, sweet fragrance. This performs amazingly, and it just smells so good in the colder months. I've worn this in warmer months, and I don't personally prefer it, although I think some people will argue with me and say that it is better in the warmer months. I don't agree. This to me smells like a really nice sweater. Can you sense a theme? It's just really warm and cozy, and it reminds me of the holidays because of those spices that we typically use in baking throughout the colder months, and that make us feel very taken care of and warm in our homes and being surrounded by people that we love. And I think that this will really stand out at those special events. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked all of my cold weather choices. I would love to hear in the comments what your favorite cold weather or winter months fragrances are. I don't want to leave anybody out. And tell me if you have a holiday fragrance that you wear just for those special events. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in my next video.